Folks, Bill Cosby yesterday performed in Canada, got a standing ovation from the folks there, but Felicia Rashad, who played his wife on The Cosby Show, she did not get that sort of reaction on Twitter. She did an interview with Roger Friedman of Showbiz 411 where she addressed the allegations as it relates to Bill Cosby, and in the interview, she used these words, "forget these women." Well, and she said that she believed that this is a much larger conspiracy against Bill Cosby. But then she got lots of heat on social media. The hashtag "forget these women" has been going all around. She's been attacked left and right. She then gave an exclusive interview yesterday to ABC News saying she was misquoted. Check this out.
That was a misquote, and that is not what I said. What I said is, this is not about the women. This is about something else. This is about the obliteration of legacy.
All right, so we'll talk about it with my panel right now. Kim Keenan, CEO of Minority Media and Telecommunications Council. Cleo, Manago, behavioral health expert, and also Avis Jones-DeWeaver, transformation strategist. All right, here's what's interesting. So Roger Friedman then posted something on his website where he said, let me clarify what took place. He said the tone was different. He said she wasn't saying, forget these women. She said, basically, you know, put these women aside. This is what I actually think it is. And it's interesting because before he posted that, I talked about it on the radio show, and I said, you know what? I said, this is what I think happened. Because as somebody who's worked in print, what you say oftentimes isn't reflected in a certain way when it's in the printed form, because you can't actually hear it. But folks have been going after her. So the question I'm posing to y'all is, it's as if you say anything that's even deemed remotely pro-Bill Cosby, all of a sudden you get attacked.
Well, that's not acceptable. I mean, it seems to me that Felicia Rashad was within her rights to say what she thinks is what's behind this. And I don't think, it's like now we have to take a side, and there's been no trial, there's been no evidence. I mean, as a lawyer, I mean, the reality is, if Bill never says anything about this the rest of his life, it stays just the way it is now. And I think Felicia felt she had to step up in that void, because under law, he doesn't have anything to defend at this point.
Well, it's interesting. In the interview with Roger Friedman, she first said, "I don't want to be a part of any public debate." But as she was talking to him, and he's known her, and he wrote that she's a friend, and so she began to elaborate and talk about it. Well, now she's part of the public debate, and now folks are trashing her. Gloria already had a news conference yesterday saying she should be standing with these women who are accusing Bill Cosby, and she's like, look, don't even come at me with the allegations, because look, I don't know, I'm not answering. This is simply what I think. Cleo, we talked about this beforehand. You got lots of emails from people as well on this issue. I mean, this is a hot issue.
It's a hot issue, and there's a media bias, clearly, that people are responsive to. The media is implying that anybody who says anything that's not anti-Bill gets attacked. And it's not fair. I mean, again, like I always said, and like I said in the last show, I don't know. We don't know. I think Felicia Rashad implied that I don't know all the details, but I know the man. And it's not fair that because someone has a perspective that's different from somebody else, they get trashed. But one thing that's for sure is that Felicia knows these people better than most of the people in the country knows him.
So it's interesting, Avis, because here's Felicia Rashad. I mean, obviously, she did the interview with ABC News because of all the backlash, right, that came out, and many people revere her. I can tell you when I saw her at Oprah's Civil Rights Legends Gala at the gospel brunch that was at her house, and we sat next to each other because she's from Houston. Both of us went to the exact same high school, different times. I was just talking to her about that. Jack Case High School in Houston. And it was interesting, out of all the photos I posted probably about 75 photos from that particular gala. Her photo got the most comments on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
More than Oprah, more than Sidney Poitier, hers got the most. It was really interesting how people have a feeling about her. Now folks are just blasting her as if everything she stood for is now gone out of the window because of this interview.
But is it true that folks are blasting her, or there's some folks who are getting a lot of attention that is blasting her?
But no, it's a number of, as you point, a number of other media outlets. Again, you go to that hashtag "forget these women." I mean, you'll see the sort of comments and reaction, Avis, people have about her.
It's a shame, because I have the utmost, and I think most most people, even prior, as you mentioned, prior to this, have the utmost respect for Phylicia Rashad's brilliance, for her talent, for her abilities, and just for the legacy of the woman that she has been over the past several decades, that many of us have really grown up with her. And what we've seen happen here is that some people have taken this phrase, which could be interpreted in a very inflammatory way, and just blown it up. Personally, I think that Phylicia has obviously a strong relationship with Bill. This is someone she is very close to. I personally believe that because of that closeness, it probably taints her objectivity when it comes to this issue. But at the end of the day, she has a right to her opinion just like everybody else. I may disagree with her personally, but I would never trash her because of her beliefs.
But she didn't criticize the allegations so much as she was basically saying that there may be something else at work. In other words, it's like, why do we have to take the position that it's sort of all or nothing, that, oh, you know, it's my friend, so whatever I say is tainted, when what she's really saying is that someone has systematically decided to discredit Bill, and they are supporting these allegations, but you know, we don't have anything on, you know, to balance that off.
And this is what she, go ahead.
And that perspective about the other stuff that's happening that she's saying is going on does not get all this attention.
No.
There's no investigation or interrogation of what seems like an apparent conspiracy or a perceived conspiracy. That gets no attention.
I don't know.
They keep on putting that under the bus.
I'm one who, you know, have never in the past really shirked away from conspiracy theories. However, in this case, I would have to say that these are not new allegations. These are allegations that have been around for literally decades. They have recently blown up again after a comedian and placed it in his act, and then it got a lot of new attention, and then new people came forward. There has not historically been, and there is not today, a great deal of payoff that comes to any woman who comes forth to allege that she has been raped against any man. Normally she is torn down, she is devastated, she is always made out to be some sort of floozy who has to prove, perhaps hopefully with videotape evidence. And we have seen that in some instances when you have pictures of women who have been assaulted, people still say that she's a floozy. So there's no win here. So, you know, it's very hard for me to sort of buy into this whole, it's a big conspiracy theory.
The only conspiracy we're going to have right now is I got to go to a break. There's no conspiracy.
All right. This time.
Hold tight 1 second. We'll fix that. We come back also.